Hello friends, I'm just going to show you today how to make a little dangle for our Advent journal. This is totally optional, just a little extra piece of bling, and if you happen to have all of these little bits and pieces around, feel free to join in. If not, don't worry about it. It's a lot of little different tools and pieces and different things, but I thought I would just show you how I made mine. So this is one that I made before, and I thought I would just make a different one to match the Advent journal. So what we need is I'm going to use two of these little labels that came with the Victorian Christmas Kit as my base, and I'm going to make a little dangle with just some beads that I had around. This is just like a jewelry making pin, and I put a little thin bead at the bottom, tiny bead at the bottom, and then a decorative bead, and then just a couple of glass beads here, and they're all on the pin here. And I'll show you how to make that in a minute. You also need a paper clip for this. I'm just using like a regular sized smallish paper clip. You need a craft knife just to do one little slit there. I've just got a couple of little things here to decorate with. Just a piece of cheesecloth, a little corrugated cardstock, a little saying that says prayer, a little pink gem, and a little snippet of Bible page, a little eyelet that I'm going to put in, and a couple of jump rings. And then I need just a tiny little piece of tape to tape the paper clip in, and I use these pliers to shape the dangle, and sometimes I use these for the jump rings, sometimes I just use my hands. But so while I'm holding this, I'll just finish this part because I don't want these beads to slip off. So I just use these pliers, and these ones are rounded here. So what we do is we just put it, I don't know, about 1/4 of an inch in. There's lots of videos that you can make that'll be better than mine that'll show you this process. I just wanted to show you quickly what I did. So I just hold it at the top like this, and I turn it around, and then I take my pliers out, put them in again at the same spot, turn it. You can turn it towards you or away from you, whichever. And then what you do is you make this little loop at the top, just like that. And then I'll just put my jump rings in, and these ones I'll probably just open them by hand. So when you open a jump ring, you slide it open like this. You don't pull it open. If you pull it open, it stretches and you can't put it back properly. It'll never hold. So you just kind of wiggle it like this until it's closed again. And I usually like to put 2 because it dangles nicely with 2. So just find the opening for that one again. Open the jump ring. Clip it onto the first jump ring and twist it closed. And that's all there is to that. We'll actually have to open that one again in a second. But all right, so then take your 2 tabs, and on one of the tabs, you just need a tiny little slit for the small part of the paper clip to go through. So just a little bit out from the edge. Whatever is on this side will stick out from your page. So you don't want too much sticking out, but you maybe want a little bit. So I'm just going to do this one right about there. And that's all you need your knife for. And then what you do is you put the small part of the paper clip inside there. So then you got the small part there and the bigger part on the outside. And then just to hold it a little bit better, I use a piece of my strong tape, and I'll just put that on there. Just burnish it in the middle a little bit just to Make sure that's going to stick. You don't want the paper clip coming out. And then I'll take the backing off and use some glue as well. So I'll just use my tacky glue here. And I'll just put a layer of tacky glue all the way around. And then I'll put my other tab on top, and these tabs I actually cut out by hand, so they're not going to fit perfectly. So what I'll do is when it all dries and everything, I'll ink it and trim the edges maybe a tiny little bit so that it looks, you know, I'm going to have a little bit of white edges here and there because I just did it by hand, and these are a little bit of a fancier. You can just do this with just a rectangle or whatever, which is easier, but that's what I'm going to use for now. And then we need to make a little hole for our eyelet here if you want the dangle on it. So I'm just going to take my crocodile, which I use to make the hole, and I also use to set the eyelet. So I'll just make a little hole there, just fairly close to the edge, because you need to get your jump ring in there. Put your eyelet in. I have this set for a bigger one, so just have to reset that. So that'll go in nicely. All right, and I just set my eyelet here. And that's set, and I'll just, actually, yeah, I think I'll put the dangle on now, and then I'll decorate it in a minute. So you just slip the jump ring in, twist it closed again, and there's your little dangle. So, and it just, because of the two jump rings, it just kind of dangles nicely. So then we just want to decorate it a little bit. I just have a little tiny piece of Bible book page that I am going to put on at the bottom, like that. I have a little, oops, a little tiny bit of cheesecloth here, and I'm just going to put up there. And this is just a little bit of corrugated, you know, just whatever you have, just for interest. A little piece of corrugated paper. And then I have my sentiment, which says prayer. And I'll just glue that on. And then I just have a little gem that I'll stick, maybe just up here. And I'll just stick that in. I glue right there. And there's your little dangle. So that'll look really cute on your journal, and like I said, I'll just trim up these edges a bit and ink around them so that they're nice and neat, and then it'll just go onto our page. So here's our Advent journal. So I thought I would make this to keep my, like, show me where I was in the book. So I just put it on the edge here. I have to be careful because it's still all wet. And it would go clip on just like that, and you can tell that your that's your spot in the journal. So I hope that inspired you a little bit. I know it was just a very, very quick run through of it. There's a lot more detailed videos of doing that sort of thing on YouTube that you can look up if you want. And I just thought I would show you my quick little way of doing that. Thanks.